Couch Guy Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode number 61. So this week, let's roll right into the interview. I'm excited to get this is like maybe the third reoccurring guest that we've had. Let's just roll right into the interview. So last week we had Jimmy Toscano talking about those Celtics, talking about that Game 7, talking about that basketball. This week we have somebody who we haven't had on probably since September? Right, Jared?
A while ago. It's just you and me those days. So
yeah, it was the Stone Ages when we had Jared producing the show. We got Kayce Smith of Barstool Sports. The last time we had Kayce, she was with NBC Sports Boston.
Yep.
So with a totally new job now, and she's crushing it at the new job. Kayce, thank you for coming on today. We appreciate it.
Of course, guys. It feels like it's been forever, but I am so honored that I'm one of the reoccurring guests because I know how these podcasts work. I mean, if somebody stinks at it, you don't ever call them back. So I'm very honored that I got a call back. That means I'm doing something right.
Oh my! I mean, hey, last time we had you on, we talked about dad bods for about 15 minutes. So yeah. That's great content.
You gave Nick the biggest compliment he could get, so I think you're gonna keep coming back.
I mean, at my new job, there's a lot of talk about all sorts of things like dad bods. So, I mean, I can talk about any of those things you want me to. You know, Barstool, there's no rules. That's probably the biggest difference between the last time we talked and now. I mean, I can talk about whatever I want. So who knows what I'm going to say.
I don't even know how we got on the topic of dad bods. You were just because we were about to roll into winter, and you were just like, I think I got to get used to dad bods now because from what I hear, nobody takes care of themselves over the winter, which is 100% true because nobody gives an F about what they look like in the winter.
Nope.
Yeah, like in Texas, it's always bikini season because it's always so damn hot all the time. So people are always trying to take care of themselves, or at least the people who want to be seen in bikinis all the time do. And then in the winter, everyone's like, oh, it's bulking season in New England. It's like, well, you know, everybody's going to be eating creamy fried food all the time. And then, of course, all the Italian food. So you can just let yourself go. And I said, well, I guess I'm just going to have to get used to dad bods. And I will say the dad bods were not near as bad as I thought they were going to be. People still looked good. So maybe I was being a little bit over dramatic. I kind of oversold the dad bod thing because people still look good in Boston.
I mean, people are telling you that people are going to get fat over the winter. Like I'd be like, what the fuck?
I'm glad I didn't really believe it. Like I kind of believed it, but then I had to find out for myself, and people were just lying to me. It was kind of a bullshit narrative. Although I found myself kind of bulking up. I was like, oh, like I'm going to wear 10 pounds of sweaters. I might as well just eat this extra bowl of pasta. It'll be fine. Nobody will see it anyways.
That's definitely why you took the job at NBC Sports Boston, right? Beforehand, just to see it for yourself.
Yes, that was my first prerequisite. Was like, okay, wait a minute. So can I do research on how fat people get during the winter in New England in comparison to the South? And they were like, yeah, for sure. I was like, cool, sold. I'll pack my shit up and move tomorrow.
Yeah, in that bulking season narrative, I think we talked about that last time too. That is such a joke. That is such a damn joke. When I was in college, I had all these hardos being like, dude, it's bulking season. Just eat a bunch of Chinese food. One of my roommates used to do that. He used to be like, guy, it's bulking season. He'd walk in with a bunch of Chinese food. Be like, listen, if I eat Chinese food, I'm just going to get fat. If I eat Chinese food in one night, I'm going to gain 5 pounds. It doesn't work like that for me. Bulking season is just obese season.
It's worth the 5 pounds, Chinese food.
It is sometimes better. Like Sophia Loren, I think I see like a meme on Instagram all the time that Sophia Loren said something along the lines of, I'd rather eat pasta and drink wine all the time than be a size 0. And I feel that so much. I'm like,
Amen.
You know what? Like, when I die, I'm not going to be like, man, I wish I would have lost those extra 2 pounds. Like, I'm so glad I crushed all of that alcohol because I had a great time doing it.
Why could I not have one more bottle of wine? Come on.
Exactly. We're all on the same page here.
When you're trying to lose weight, the worst part is like when you're still trying to drink and you're trying to lose weight, you just switch over. If you switch over to vodka, you're all of a sudden like, it's like, because you drink beer and you're drunk by maybe like 11 o'clock. Like you're pacing yourself, you're having a good time. You're drinking vodka and you're trying to lose weight. Next thing you know, you are blacked out and you are all over the place.
But you're looking good doing it, Nicholas. So who cares?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and if everybody's around you drinking vodka too, then you're fine. You're just really screwed when you're the only person drinking and everybody else is staring at you. Because I'm a big vodka water fan with lemon and lime. Like you're hydrating yourself, but you're also not putting like 1,000 calories in your body, but you get drunk a lot faster because it feels like you're just drinking water. But that's why you just make sure all your friends are doing the same thing. So everybody's on the same page.
My favorite thing about vodka water is it's literally just saying that you're drinking vodka and watering it down. Like you're making it sound like a drink, but it's just shots with a little water in it.
Yeah, that's a good. It makes you feel a little bit better about yourself though, because like vodka on the rocks is such a savage move. But when I see people doing that in the movies, like there's no way you actually enjoy that. I understand whiskey on the rocks. I can even understand maybe a nice tequila on the rocks. Nobody actually likes vodka on the rocks. But then you have a good point. You're just watering it down. So maybe somewhere deep in the back of my head, I actually do like vodka on the rocks, and I should try it again. I don't know, but vodka water, it's a great excuse to hydrate yourself too. So that's what I stick with.
Yeah, nobody likes that. It's like I have a friend. Actually, they're a couple. They're about to get married. Shout out Andrew and Julia. These maniacs drink Manhattans,
Oh.
and like they make it sound good. They drink it all the time, and I got one night. I was like, these guys make it sound delicious. I need to try this, and I got it, and I was drinking gasoline. Like it was the fucking worst.
I don't know if I've ever had a Manhattan.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Sad because I live in Manhattan. I feel like I should probably be trying that drink, but if you guys tell me not to, then I'm just gonna say no. But I have no idea what they even are. Like, I mean, I've heard of them, but I guess I don't even know what's in them. Is it vodka?
It's like I don't know. It's like whiskey. I think it's got scotch in it.
Ooh.
It's like there's nothing good in it. It's just alcohol mixed together.
Yeah, that's why you just gotta stick with the basics. You gotta stick with vodka, red wine, dark beer, and Jameson for shots. That's just what you gotta stick with.
Oh yes, you just became my new best friend because no one likes to take Jameson shots but me in my world.
Oh my God. Well, that's all I'll take at the bar normally because I don't want all the sugary stuff, and Fireball is made straight from Satan.
Thank
so you.
you.
Go Jameson, and if you need something to chase it with, if you go maybe like a Coke back or even a pickleback, fine. But anything other than Jameson to shoot, unless it's tequila on a beach, is just absolutely a no. So maybe we should just go take over the bars together because Jameson is by far the best shot you can take.
Amen. It is.
Let's do it. What the hell is a pickleback? I've never heard of that in my life.
Okay, so in Texas they have pickle shots, which is where you get like the super sour like dill pickle juice, and you put vodka in it and you shoot that. So if you like pickles, then you're gonna like it because it's just basically drinking pickle juice with a lot of alcohol in it, which you can't taste. And I actually found this out in Boston. They do the picklebacks where they give you Jameson or whatever you want to take a shot of, and then they give you an extra like chaser of just sour pickle juice. So I've always known that you mix them together, but I guess in Boston doing picklebacks with Jameson is a thing. I'd never heard of it before I moved up there. And so now I do it every once in a while because I like pickles so much. And it totally takes the taste away, which is dangerous because you feel like, oh, I didn't even take any alcohol. Let's do 5 more right in a row.
I don't know. Like
Sounds awful.
I like pickles. I'm not trying to drink the juices.
Oh man, see, I love pickle juice. I'm a weirdo though. I'm not the only weirdo, or it wouldn't be a thing.
I don't know. It's this is a good segue into it because I don't even know if we're going to talk about any sports tonight because we just have to talk about we're just talking about insane shit because you like pickle juice like on the reg. Now I'm imagining you just drinking pickle juice like as a normal drink, like you're going to get a glass of water. And your co-host, I texted you about this last week. Your co-host Uncle Chaps on High Haters from Barstool Sports. He doesn't like mac and cheese. That's asinine itself. I thought
He's stupid for that.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was gonna be like, how do you work with a guy who doesn't like mac and cheese? And I love Uncle Chaps. I think he's hysterical. But I saw you put out a poll. He likes orange juice and cookies?
Yeah, he's a weirdo. And I love him so much. And he shocks me all the time with like everything he says normally. The mac and cheese and the one you just mentioned with the chocolate chip cookies and orange juice, like those things might have shocked me the most because I've kind of lost a little bit of respect for him. First of all, macaroni and cheese is delicious. I don't care. Like he has this whole thing. If you put anything in it, it's considered a casserole, which is a stupid argument because I said if you put buffalo sauce in it, it makes it better too. But mac and cheese, who doesn't like mac and cheese? So I start trusting him as much as I did then. And then last night for him to say that the acidity in the orange juice cut the sweetness of the chocolate chip cookie in a really good way. I was like, you are a disgusting human being. I don't know if I can do this podcast with you anymore.
Why would you want to get rid of the sweetness of a chocolate chip cookie?
Right. That was and he tried, like later on, we talked about it off air. he was saying, well, like when you like a pickleback shot would be a great example. Like, you're taking away the taste. And I was like, yeah, but nobody likes the taste of whiskey just sitting on their mouth like they do warm chocolate chip cookies. Why would I want to erase that? In fact, like I will make sure the chocolate chip cookie is the last thing I eat before I brush my teeth at night so that I'm tasting it for like an hour or two. Like I don't want it to go away. And orange juice with chocolate sounds disgusting.
Does he dip it? Does he because didn't he say specifically like it's better than milk? Does he dip the cookie in the orange juice?
I don't think so, but he did say that he really likes it when the cookies are right out of the oven. Like he doesn't want just like room temperature cookies like
that's
cold cookie dough. But that's where he likes the orange juice the most. Like that was what was so weird. Everybody loves chocolate chip cookies out of the oven, but most people want to go for like a cold glass of milk. He wants the cold glass of orange juice as soon as the cookies come out. So I think I can just picture him like shoving cookies in his mouth and then just chasing it down with like a huge thing of orange juice, which is just gross. Like there's no way that tastes good.
No, that's psychopathic tendencies.
To be honest, I'm more hurt by the mac and cheese thing than I am with the chocolate chip cookie thing.
Well, that's just wild. Like I know people who don't like regular food. Like I know people who are picky, but like everybody likes mac and cheese. I've never met anybody who's like mac and cheese fucking blows.
Nobody. And I asked him, so you don't even like really delicious, expensive mac and cheese from the North End in Boston? Like I understand if you're going to go to an Italian restaurant, you're probably not going to be ordering mac and cheese, but they're going to do it really well. They've got the fancy cheese. He's like, no mac and cheese is good, which I am on the train. I think Kraft macaroni and cheese straight out of the box is still delicious. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's great. And it's 99-cent boxed all the way to like a $45 plate of like gourmet mac and cheese he's out on. And like I said, I don't trust him anymore because I can't trust anybody that doesn't like pasta and melted cheese on it.
Yeah, and like you're trying to like defend Kraft mac and cheese. Again, I have never met anybody who's just disliked mac and cheese. I don't care what kind of
hot dogs in there, some chopped up hot dogs in the Kraft mac and cheese. Way to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well then it's a casserole.
For sure.
Then it's a casserole.
You don't have to. Like he has just such a bad argument with that, and we had people calling into our radio show just like completely roasting him on that, and he just won't back down because he said because he had to eat it so much when he was younger because he grew up kind of poor that's what his parents always made him was that and ham. And I said, well, yeah, but kids love mac and cheese. Whether you're super rich or super poor, mac and cheese still tastes good. It has nothing to do with that, and he just will not budge. So it's just kind of one of those differences that I don't know if I'll ever get over, but I have to move past with him, unfortunately.
Imagine being a 6-year-old kid and being like, Mom, like, cut the bullshit. I'm so done with this mac and cheese. I just couldn't imagine. I would have eaten it every meal. I would not be like, Mom, get this shit out of my face. Stop giving me
mac and cheese. Get rid of it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, first of all, my favorite meal as a kid was mac and cheese and like the hot dogs that had the cheese in the middle of it, which are probably horrendously bad for you. But that was my favorite meal to have. And then as I've gotten older, like the mac and cheese, the meatloaf, you put a good mac and cheese with a really good homemade meatloaf and some mashed potatoes. Like you talk about bulking season, I wouldn't care how fat I was if I could eat that every single day.
Yeah, right. Like I just couldn't imagine it. Like when my mom made me mac and cheese, I was like, Mom, you were the fucking best. I don't know if there's any mom in the world who's better than you, but as of right now, you're pretty damn close to the top.
Yes. Thank you for buying that 99-cent box of the Minions macaroni and cheese for me. I'm going to eat every single thing. And even in my late 20s, I still will go buy a box at like Wegmans and eat the whole thing by myself. So Uncle Chap is a crazy person, but we knew that.
Absolutely wild. Hey, so you know what? Actually, so you at Barstool, when it happened, let me actually just ask you a question for once for on this show here.
Okay.
We've just been rolling on about alcohol and mac and cheese.
We don't do questions here. Yeah. Come on, Nick.
Yeah, well, no, I want to know this. So you were great on NBC Sports Boston. You guys just had a ton of chemistry. I love that show. I told you before, like Boston Sports Tonight, it was an awesome show. It still is. I still watch it almost every night when I can. But like, I just kind of want to know, like, what pushed you to go over to Barstool rather than NBC? Is there anything that specifically pushed you there? Because you're great over there with like the High Haters podcast and with the show 10 to midnight too. Like you guys, you and Uncle Chaps, if I would never have guessed that you guys were going to be a team on the radio, but you guys are a great team on the radio. Like what pushed you specifically over to Barstool rather than NBC?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, and it's totally understandable because before I was at NBC Sports Boston, I was with ESPN and the SEC network. So I've been at networks for most of my career. And then I went from those massive networks to Barstool, which is the anti-massive network. But one of the things that really pulled me that way was, and just talking to Dave Portnoy as much as I did and Erica Nardini before making that decision, was that, first of all, I really do buy into the fact that I think Barstool is the future of sports media, because you can just look at just the numbers alone of how fast it's growing and going from the $10 million company last year to $100 million the next year. But for me, it was, what do I want to do most in my career? And that's have a voice. And that's really have a platform that people are listening to be myself. Because when I was on the sidelines, and I think we talked about this the first time I was on the podcast, was the sidelines was a great opportunity for me. And I think people are really good at it. I just wasn't that great at it. I was good enough to be there, but it wasn't what my best skill set was. What my best skill set is just sitting back and talking. And I got that opportunity in Boston. So for Dave Portnoy to look at what I did with NBC Sports Boston and on Boston Sports Tonight and say, hey, we could really use her. My thought was, look, if I look back in 5 years and Barstool is like this massive media company that's overtaken everything, and I didn't jump on board when I had the opportunity, I'll probably really regret it. And I can be myself. And I have the show with Uncle Chaps. I also have Comeback Season, the podcast with Johnny Manziel. Yep. That's going to be a weekly thing for college football season, and just being able to do whatever I want to grow my name and my brand under their umbrella. And it's a wild move. And a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy still. But it's taking a risk on myself and taking a risk for a company that I really believe in, and, see if it works out. So I loved NBC Sports Boston. It was a really, really, really hard decision. Love those guys that I worked with, but it felt right at the time. And so I made the move to New York, and we'll see if it was the right decision. I think it is.
How did you get the Johnny Manziel podcast? How did that come about? Because one, I'm a huge Johnny Manziel supporter. I hope he figures it out and does well in the CFL. But how did you end up with the podcast?
So I went to Texas A&M. So I am a Johnny supporter just because I knew him when I was in school. His Heisman Trophy winning year was actually my first year out of school, and I worked locally in College Station, and I covered him for a company called TexAgs.com. And I always joke around with him, and it's really coming full circle now, is that because he was such a big deal in sports at that time, is how I kind of got my job at ESPN, because people wanted to interview anybody who could talk to Johnny on a normal basis. So the local media got a lot of attention because he won the Heisman and going into that next season. So I got my audition from ESPN through Johnny, basically. They threw me on and said, hey, you're live on television now. Tell us all about Johnny. And so we kind of had that relationship back then. And then we're by no means super close friends, but staying in contact as much as we could. And then I hadn't spoken to him in a couple of years after kind of everything happened with the Browns and all that. But when I got to Barstool, Dave Portnoy was like, hey, I know you know Johnny, you worked with Johnny before. I know Johnny. Do you think this is something that could work? And Johnny, his agent, and I sat down and we kind of talked it out, discussed what it could look like. And we all decided that it would be really good for him to be able to tell his story completely unedited, completely uncut, without any ramifications, and for me to kind of play the role between him and his agent of facilitating and asking questions like, what went wrong in 2014, and what would you tell guys now when they're preparing for the draft, which is where our draft day special came from. And he pays attention to college football every single second of every single day, and so his knowledge there will never change. No matter what happens in the NFL or the CFL, his knowledge of college football will never change. So we kind of just came up with this idea, hey, comeback season, people are either going to love you or hate you, but they're going to listen to you. And it just kind of became this thing that we tried out for draft day, and it was wildly successful. And so we said, why the hell not? Let's keep it going.
Yeah, and he's just such a polarizing guy, and for whatever reason, because obviously he went through a ton of crap, it's just for whatever reason, this whole comeback thing, I think people saw, what was it, the Good Morning America interview that he did? I think he won people back over. You know what I mean? I think he just seems like he kind of figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, people make mistakes, and I'm by no means making excuses for him and all the stuff that he's done, that he's now come out and admitted. Hey, I was really messed up. I think that when people can admit that, and when people really make a true effort to change their lives, then I think that they do deserve a second chance. I also understand why people can maybe look at the situation with him and his ex-girlfriend and say they don't believe he deserves a second chance. And that's their opinion 100%. But in the time talking to him since that Good Morning America interview and just being around him for this podcast and in these conversations, I believe that he realizes how messed up he was. I believe that he really is trying to make a comeback and better his life. He's got an amazing wife who's in his life now. He seems to adore everything that she does. They love each other. I think she keeps him grounded. And I think that he's really making not just the effort to be back on the football field, but making the effort to be a better human being. And for me, I don't care if you went to A&M. I don't care if you went to the University of Texas, Boston College, whatever. I'm going to root for a human being no matter what. And that's why I'm on his side and I believe it. And, you know, hopefully that it does come to fruition, because we don't even know if he's going to be good in the NFL or not. If he ever gets a chance, that's the biggest question I have, is not if he can keep his life together. Would he be a good NFL quarterback? Because we never got to see that when he was in Cleveland because he was so messed up.
I kind of wanted to see him with the Patriots. Like I was kind of getting on that hype train. Like I was like, damn, Bill Belichick's gonna pick this guy up, because if anybody was gonna do it, it was gonna be Bill Belichick. Hey, real quick though, right before we let you go, because I know you gotta skedaddle. What do you like more, Boston or New York?
Boston.
Yeah, give me that Austin. Give me that good answer.
Yeah, it's a 100% Boston, and I do enjoy New York, but I'm actually in Boston almost every other weekend, if not every weekend. I still have a place there. I'm dating somebody there, so I am always back, and it's so much cleaner, it's so much nicer, and you know, I mean, New York's fine, but Boston has my heart. There's no doubt about that.
New York reeks. I went to New York one time, and it smelled so bad. Does it still smell bad?
Oh, it's gross.
It's terrible.
It's gross. I mean, it's you know, beautiful Manhattan, like on paper, and it's like, oh, all the glamour and all that. But as soon as it hits about 80 degrees, it smells like trash juice all the time. So maybe I just don't have enough money to experience the glamorous side of New York yet. Hopefully one day I'll get there. But as of right now, I hit that Amtrak Acela Express and I head north to Boston as much as I can.
I just remember being there. It was so gross. Hey, Kayce, thanks for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. Follow her on Twitter at Kayce Smith. She spells her name bananas, Kayce Smith.
It's a Texas thing.
It's a Texas thing. That's how everybody in Texas spells their name, spells Kayce.
My parents were trying to mess me up, guys. That's what they really were like, you know what? We want to confuse everybody. You've got a boring last name in Smith, so let's spice it up and spell it wrong so everybody has to ask you for the rest of your life. That's what they wanted me to do.
Yeah, let's make sure everybody in elementary school picks on her for spelling her name different.
I can never get the license plates. I can never get the mugs. I can never get the souvenirs. Like, I really need everybody to feel sorry for me, because I actually love my name spelled now. But as a child, it was devastating that I couldn't get those crappy little mugs at gas stations.
Yeah, well, my name's Nick. My name stinks. N-I-C-K. Everybody's got it. My mom told me. My mom said that when I was born, she was like, "Yeah, Nicholas wasn't a popular name." Yeah, Mom. Everybody my age is named fucking Nicholas.
Everybody. Nick, Tom, and then there's a lot of Davids too. But Nick, I feel like our generation, there's a shitload of them. They're everywhere. And I will tell you, you're a good Nick. I've met a lot of really bad Nicks over my time. So at least you're keeping the good side of the name, because I've met a lot of douchebags named Nick. I just want to put that on record. Listen,
I'm doing what I can, because I know a lot of douchebags named Nick too. So I gotta turn that around. I gotta make sure a lot of people don't think that all Nicks are douchebags. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah. They go, "Oh, your name's Nick. You're a douchebag." I'm like, all right. Whatever.
Well, at least it's not Chad. And no offense, but Chad seems like much more of a douchebag name.
It does.
Chad is a douchebag name.
Sorry, all the Chads out there, but you probably are a douchebag.
Yeah, I'm sure there's one or two of you that are really nice, but just overall, Chad is a douchebag name.
Yeah, like I'm the one nice Nick in the entire. I'm not even kidding you. I live in a neighborhood.
We're giving you a lot of credit too, Quags, by the way. Can I just tell you that?
Yeah. And you know what, Kayce, I appreciate that. And when we all go get those disgusting Manhattans, like that's
whiskey shots. The whiskey shots.
The whiskey shots. The
Jameson shots. And you don't have to try the pickleback if you don't like it, but I'm gonna make you. Okay, you have to try it at least once, and you won't have to keep drinking if you don't like it. But if you like pickles, you're gonna like pickle shots. I promise.
Like, I like pickles, but I
don't even like pickles.
Like I don't want to drink the juice out of it.
I know it sounds gross, but see, I feel like once you have it, your life may be changed, or maybe it won't be. But if you like the taste of pickles, you've got to at least give it a shot.
I don't know. When Snooki used to drink pickle juice, like they were the trenders back then. They set the trends. I was like, God damn, pickle
Little
juice
bit.
might actually be fucking good. Because she
I
used to
love
down
that
it.
reference. I love that reference. Like, I am such a big Jersey Shore fan. You talk about douchebags. Like, I am totally a Jersey Shore douchebag. So I really appreciate that reference.
Casey, you don't even know I have every one of the Jersey Shore Family Vacation. When I saw that coming out, I was Thursday nights when I was younger. It was RJ Burger, followed up by Jersey Shore. That was my Thursday nights.
Hell yeah.
Hell
yeah. Like, one of the best days of my 2 months so far at Barstool. It's a very small amount, but probably the best day I've had, is the day the entire cast came into HQ to publicize, to like promote Family Vacation. And I like walked downstairs. I was like, I don't even know who I should try to talk to first. Like, there's Snooki, there's Mike, there's Pauly. And I went up to Mike first because he was the most accessible at the time. But I'm sitting there like, this is heaven. College Kayce would not believe that I was in this spot right now. They're awesome. And yeah, it's kind of a trashy show, but call me trashy. I'm all in on it.
Oh my, and Ronnie was just off the wall. It's like, I know you got to go, but like these people, they forget that they're on camera. Like, this guy's got a pregnant girl at home and he's touching this French girl's ass. Like, dude, you're on a TV show.
It's bananas. Like, I remember thinking that this season was probably going to be pretty boring in comparison to the original seasons because they're all either married or in serious relationships or have kids or whatever. And I was like, they're going to have to find something to spice it up. And as soon as I saw that Ronnie was acting like that, I was like, oh yeah, here we go. Like, he's going to turn into old Ronnie. And you're right. Like, dude, you have a pregnant fiance or wife or girlfriend or whoever she is at home. What are you doing? But it's like, they just don't care. It's like, they're invincible, which is why reality television, like, they are the only ones that can be that way. Most reality TV stars have to end up doing like pool party circuits because they act like such assholes on camera. But for some reason, people on Jersey Shore make millions of dollars to do it. So, I mean, I guess can't hate the player, just hate the game.
Yeah, but even when I'm out drunk at a bar, like, I even know, like, okay, Nick, let's relax. Let's not be a classic Nick douche. Let's chill out.
Go home.
Yeah, but you're not getting paid millions of dollars to do it. See, that's like back in college,
no, you're right.
when we would have like Jersey days, it was like, oh my God, they're getting paid to basically do the overdramatic version of what we do every single week. Like, get drunk, party, hook up with each other. Like, they're getting paid hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars to do it. So then you just feel like you're invincible if you're those people. Like, whatever, I've acted like my worst self on TV, and for some reason people keep paying me. Might as well keep doing it.
The most legendary bromance of all time is Pauly D and Vinny. There will never be a better bromance than those two.
It's so great. It's so great. I'm totally on board with it. I am a huge Jersey Shore person. Big Cat at Barstool, also huge Jersey Shore person. So if you ever want to like really get like deep into Jersey Shore stuff, you guys should have him on because he loves it. He can't get enough of the drama.
Oh, we would love to get Big Cat on. We can get both you guys on, and we'll just make it a full 45 minutes of Jersey Shore Family Vacation recap.
Oh, sold. Totally sold.
Let's get it done. All right, hey, Kayce, we have you past the time that you said you had to go. So, I mean, unless you want to stay, I mean, it's up to you. But
I mean, if you guys want to call Uncle Chaps and tell him I'm late because you guys are bashing his mac and cheese take, then I mean, I'd be okay. But we actually have to record our podcast as well. I'd love to hang out with you guys even more, but unfortunately, the mac and cheese hater has to have me as well.
You got it. You have to tell him that the podcast that you were just on specifically brought him up and told you specifically that he is a psycho, and he that's
putting it nicely.
Behavior.
That's putting it nicely.
I'm totally in. If you guys we'll be live on air tonight at 10 to midnight. If you guys both want to call in and talk shit to him, I will fully allow that to happen, and I won't even warn him that it's coming.
Oh man, we might do that. Maybe
we might have to.
All right, hey, follow her on Twitter once again, Kayce Bananaland, way to spell it, at Kayce Smith. You know what? The first time we did the Twitter thing and I promoted it and I added you, or I spelled your name out in the description. I spelled your name totally wrong because it's just like it just doesn't make sense.
It's fair. I can't hate you for it.
I don't even remember how I spelled, but I remember looking at it and I was like, this is just not correct.
There's an E in there before the end somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. The High Haters
just
podcast.
Add an extra E, it'll be fine.
Kaycee.
Oh, people do that all the time. All the time. Like
that actually might have been what I did.
Kayce.
I like read it as normal at this point. Like I can't even be mad because it's the closest thing you can get. So that's like if I'd much rather be that than like C-A-S-E-Y. As long as you don't make it that bad, I'll be okay with it.
You're talking to a guy who has a silent G in his last name. Nobody ever knows the G's there. It's just fucking there.
That's tough. That's a tough look.
For literally no reason. All right, the podcast, High Haters Podcast, it drops Tuesdays and Thursdays, right?
Yes, Tuesdays and Thursday mornings.
Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, and then Sirius XM, Barstool Radio, 10 to midnight, High Haters with Uncle Chaps and Kayce Smith. Kayce, it was awesome. Thanks for coming on. Glad we got to talk about everything mac and cheese, hot dogs, alcohol,
Anytime. Jersey Shore. I mean, basically
Jersey
just
Shore.
all the things we love in life. So anytime you guys want, I'm more than happy to join you.
Awesome. Hell yeah. All right. Hey, Kayce, thanks. Go do your podcast with Uncle Chaps before he gets mad and just dumps
plain mac and cheese at you or something.
Yeah, throws mac and cheese because he won't eat it at you.
All right. Thanks, guys, so much.
All right. Thanks, Kayce.
Thanks.
And she hangs up. No problem. Look at that. Perfect.
Did she hang up?
Oh, right away. Instant.
Okay, good. Pat, you can hang up and you just have never told us?
Oh, see. That's why we have a producer.
Literally for like the past 7 weeks, I've thought
I still don't know how to do it on the new Skype, but just saying. I'm here on the pod. No, there's not. But okay.
I can't even see Jared on my feed.
Good.
So like, I just don't think that's working out. All right, once again, Kayce Smith, great guest. We're gonna have to talk about Jersey Shore. I'm pumped to go out and just get wasted off of Jameson shots.
Yeah, I'm excited because not a lot of people that I know like Jameson. Like,
I think
take shots of it.
I think I've just seen her tweet it before.
Not surprised.
I don't know many people who like Jameson shots either, but hey, I mean, you two have a ball.
They're fantastic. You don't like them at all, really?
I don't think I've ever done a Jameson shot.
Well, you will at the wedding. So.
All right, whatever. That's better. I'm going to this other wedding who's serving Manhattans as their special drinks.
That's no.
Yeah. All right, weekly dump real quick. Ben Simmons, Kendall Jenner reportedly dating.
Weird.
Okay, like if you want to ruin your team's chances at the championship next season, just please keep dating Kardashian.
No, their GM is doing that already, so it's fine.
Cassius Marsh goes after the Patriots in a player profile, says that he had no fun and criticized Bill for using him wrong, that's literally what Bill does, you moron. That's literally what Bill does. He takes players and he makes them better by using them in different ways. You idiot. Not sports. Roseanne was canceled after she went on a Twitter rant and other racist tweets were discovered on her account. Only kind of relevant here because Tom Warner, I think he's like the executive producer. He's the Red Sox owner or whatever. Chris Paul's already recruiting LeBron for next season. Didn't know this. Chris Paul is the godfather to Bronny, LeBron's kid.
I didn't know that either.
I think LeBron's going to Houston.
Whatever. Have fun in the West.
Dude, get out of the West. Get out of the East.
Bye.
If you could just kick him, if you could just get him out of the East, oh my God.
Celtics will go to the finals the next 5 years.
Everything would be perfect. Dude, I am dying right now. I am just so sweaty.
You're glistening.
Huh?
You're glistening.
Can you see me glistening?
Oh, yeah. Through Skype. So you know.
Dude, I shut off. Yeah, well, I got an HD camera. What's up, baby? I just shut off my fan so it doesn't pick up the audio. It's just like this is crazy. The Celtics are reportedly interested in Mo Bamba. Apparently, will trade up for him. He's got a 7'6" wingspan. First of all, 7'6" wingspan. That is
stupid.
That's like not human.
But don't trade Jaylen Brown for him. Thanks. Okay, bye.
Yeah, just don't do that. Celtics lose Game 7 of the NBA Finals. We plan on talking to Kayce about the NBA Finals, but got sidetracked by a million different topics, which is great. Whatever. I'd rather talk about Jersey Shore anyway.
Jameson is much better than the NBA Finals this year. So.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah. The NBA Finals, fuck it. Well, we're not going to talk about that. So, I mean, we kind of are here in the weekly dump. Celtics lose Game 7 of the NBA Finals. They were an absolute joke.
East Finals.
Yes, you're right. The Eastern Conference Finals. The Rockets also lose. Warriors, Cavs, round 4, baby. Nobody can get hyped about that. It's like.
Did you see what Klay Thompson said today?
Yeah, he wants other teams to get better.
He said the NBA should just get better. Yeah, you were a Chris Paul injury not happening away from not going to the finals, and LeBron got lucky the Celtics can't shoot in Game 7.
Yeah, and LeBron got lucky that fucking Gordon Hayward and Kyrie.
Oh yeah, and Jeff Green played out of his mind.
Yeah, and like Jeff Green, he should not have been playing out of his mind. And then Golden Knights and Capitals, they're playing tonight, but as of right now, recording Wednesday, May 30th, the Golden Knights are up 1-0. They're playing tonight. All right, first topic, real quick. We're gonna have a quick show because little Patty's got to go do some activities. Brian Colangelo, president of basketball operations and the GM of the 76ers. This is like the best story of the week.
This is bananas. This is fantastic.
This is the best story of the week. So this idiot has a bunch of different burner accounts. He's got 5. This is all reported by The Ringer, Bill Simmons' website that he's got a bunch of writers for. Operates reportedly 5 different burner accounts. And he's been going after people in the 76ers organization with those burner accounts. He's gotten into a bunch of public debates about the 76ers with those burner accounts. Tweeted out private medical information about Jahlil Okafor from one of these accounts. And then I've read Telegraph, the 76ers trade moving up to number 1 with Boston. Does that just mean that he tweeted that out?
He tweeted out ahead of time. Yeah, he basically showed the plan for it.
What a fucking idiot.
And he went after the old GMs and
he went out. Yeah, what was that guy's name?
Henke?
Eric Henke?
Henke? Yeah.
Eric Henke, yeah.
And then what's the guy who's the GM in Toronto now, who preceded him? Also, he went after saying he shouldn't have gotten any of the credit for putting.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, guy, did you not think you were gonna get caught? And here's the thing: there's probably so many different NBA burner accounts. There's gotta be. Not even just NBA, just all.
Durant has one.
Yeah, we know Kevin Durant has one. You're telling me David Price doesn't have one?
You know David Price has one. I'm surprised it hasn't been found yet. Where's Jared Carrabas on that? You know it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, but Jared Carrabas is a David Price guy. I don't think he would go after him like that. If anybody does know, I bet it would be Jared Carrabas, but I don't think he would out him for it.
That's fair.
Actually, you know what? He might, because that would be huge news. I don't know. But regardless, that's just it's just the best story of the week. Best story of the week.
I just don't understand how you could be this dumb. You have a father, I forget his dad's first name, but is a well-known GM in the space. He put together Team USA. He's really good friends and close friends with LeBron and that family. That's why everyone kind of linked him to Philly in the first place, was because of that relationship with their family. One, this makes it even better now for the Celtics, because now, they're going to he's probably not going to go to Philly, because why would LeBron James ever want to go to a team that's a mess?
Yeah, no, seriously. It's I think this actually might have ruined what the 76ers wanted to do with LeBron. I don't think why would LeBron want to go there now? There's no point of it.
Because it's literally a mess. You don't want to go. Yeah, you can probably go play with Ben Simmons. Yeah, you have the same agency, you work out, cool. But you don't.
Ben Simmons is going to be a stud.
But you don't have ties to Philly. You're not from there. He went to Cleveland and dealt with Dan Gilbert because it's Cleveland.
Yeah, because it's his home. There's no reason to go there. Houston, he's got Chris Paul. He's got his son's godfather there. He's got James Harden. That's a team who could probably fuck.
Now if you go to Houston, can the Celtics beat them in the NBA Finals?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I think Golden State could still handle that team potentially. That would be a great series.
That'd be even better than it was. Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the Celtics could beat them because Chris Paul's not clutch by any means, so you really don't have to worry about James Harden and LeBron, and they both need the ball. So who knows if that would even work. But all I know is I want them out of the East. I don't care what happens in the West. Put them all over there. Give me the Celtics dynasty for the next 5 to 10 years of being the only team in the East who's good, who really cares. That's it. Done.
And in just looking through the Brian Colangelo things, it's just Joel Embiid had to go into this because Colangelo, I'm saying his name right? Colangelo. This guy goes after Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid, posted that picture last night, and I'm back on the Joel Embiid train. I was off during the Celtics. I was so annoyed with him during the Celtics playoff series with him, but I think he's hysterical again.
He's great. That was great.
Like he posted that picture of himself when he had a buzz cut, and it just said "bruh" when all this stuff was coming out.
Well, have you seen all the videos since they got eliminated of him just like walking around Philly parks and like owning kids of basketball in the parks? Have you seen that?
Yeah. And he was bouncing basketballs off of people's faces.
And like just dunking over people. It's like 3-on-1, and people are just taking videos. And Joel Embiid's just casually out there playing ball in the street, like in the southern streets of Philly. Like, how great is that guy?
Dude, so funny. And he tweeted last night when all this was breaking at 11 p.m. He goes, "Joel told me that Sam Hinkie is better and smarter than you." # burner account. So funny.
It's
so
great. No,
funny.
he doesn't hold back. He's never gonna get yelled at because it's Joel Embiid, and they want him to be happy. And how idiotic are you if you're Colangelo? Because he claims one account. He claimed one of them, and he said people are out to get him, and the other ones aren't his. Yada yada yada. I don't believe that for a second. Do you?
No, I don't. It's 100% all him. And the 76, I mean, not the 76ers, the Ringer, they did their own little investigation, right? And I think all 5 accounts end with a phone number that ends in 91. And it's just they all follow the same group of people. It's just
they all follow the college that his kid plays basketball for, the high school that his kid went to, like all the same people surrounding those schools. Like, it's too much similarities to say, yeah, someone's out to get you.
It's got to be him. It's just such a dumb scenario. Like, you might have screwed up getting LeBron James, the best basketball player in the world, to come to Philly.
He's getting fired, right?
He's got to, right? He has to.
If Philly has come out and said they're launching their own internal investigation about this. If they really are, he's got to get fired because you're leaking medical information. You're talking about trades, like the trades that you're making. You're putting them out there in the public ahead of time. Like,
yeah, he's got to be fired. Imagine Danny Ainge doing this.
That'd be hilarious.
That would be this guy.
He'd be getting # Trader Danny going.
Yeah, he's a joke. Oh no, that was Brad Stevens. If this was Brad Stevens, he'd just be tweeting positive reinforcement at his players.
Yeah, right. It's okay, Kyrie. You'll get him next year. # Green Teamer. # see us rise.
So it's just it just shows you how many people in the sports world are fucking idiots.
Oh, they really are.
You think because they're at that level of power, you think that they're gonna actually have a brain in their head, and it's just they're all just morons. They're all just a bunch of fucking idiots. Next topic. This is a topic we don't agree on at all. We've been going back and forth on Twitter.
We have.
And it's it's relatively old news, especially once next week happens, but we just have to talk about this. Hanley Ramirez he was DFA'd, I believe it was Friday.
He was released today.
It was DFA'd on Friday. He was officially released today, so now he's free to sign with other teams. It was a shock to everybody. If you say that you saw this coming, you're lying.
You're straight up lying.
You're straight up lying. But now that the move happened, I understand it. I get it.
Stupid.
I get it. And I get it mostly because this guy, I don't have the stats in front of me. I think he hit 170 for the past month?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The guy was falling off the train. The past 3 years, 4 years that he's been here, he hasn't been great. He's had spurts when he's been unbelievable, but he was really your only power guy. Now you have JD Martinez, you have Mitch Moreland, and having Hanley Ramirez on this team, you had to sit Mitch Moreland occasionally. Mitch Moreland's hitting rockets right now. You shouldn't ever be sitting Mitch Moreland.
Okay, but you don't have to because there's a number there that was how many? I don't remember the number of at bats for his vesting option, whatever it was,
497,
something like that. So,
which is just a random number.
It's I don't know how they got to 497, but they did. He was on pace to smoke that, but I blame the Red Sox because if you don't want him to hit the option, which I believe this is half of why they let him go.
I believe it's 85% of what.
So just manage him because now you have to deal. Now you have Blake Swihart on the team who isn't going to play. Who isn't going to play enough to make it worth it. He's still not going to be happy. His agent's not going to be happy. Easily could have traded Blake Swihart for something to recoup the farm system. Let Hanley sit on the bench, and you still have the at-bat. You still have the personality, which has clearly been good for the clubhouse. Why are you just going to drop that because of a bad month? It's moronic. It's stupid.
Well, no, see, listen. Cora, they framed it as a baseball decision.
This was Cora's idea.
This was Cora's idea. They framed it as a baseball decision, and that's solely because, in my opinion, to avoid the grievance. Because technically, Hanley Ramirez I think he can sue the Red Sox for grievance for essentially just blocking him and just dumping him solely for the purpose so he doesn't get that $22 million option.
Oh, you can. Yeah, it's like a legit, like it's in the CBA. Yeah.
They can sue him for a grievance. So
now we really
so they have to frame it as a baseball reason. But I think there is a baseball element to it because you're telling me that Hanley Ramirez would be okay with sitting the bench for a lot of time because, like you said, he was on pace to smoke the 497 at bats. So you'd have to sit him quite a lot to make sure he didn't get those 497 at bats.
Well, no, or it becomes you hit a couple times, you have a tough couple, you pull him, put much more on in, or you can make it work to still have Hanley sitting on the bench.
Yeah, but Mitch Moreland shouldn't be sitting at all.
He still is sitting. Blake Swihart played today at first base.
Yeah, it was because it was a day game from last night. It was a day game.
Mitch Moreland's fine. Like, why is Blake Swihart?
They wanted to get him some rest.
Why is Blake Swihart? Get him rest. Leave Hanley on the bench. Let Hanley play.
Hey, Swihart's been hitting the ball. Bradley's been hitting the ball. Vasquez and Big Booty Sandy Leon has been hitting the ball.
Big Booty Sandy Leon has been hitting the ball last couple games. I'll give him that.
And it's just like it sucks because and I don't want to act like I am happy that Hanley's gone. It sucked. It felt like I broke up with my girlfriend. It sucked. I was like, damn. I was just thinking, like, driving home. I was like, man, I'm thinking about all these memories with Hanley Ramirez.
Didn't take long to get over it, though, which is not a good sign on your part.
No, it didn't take a long time to get over it because I understand. I get it. And, like...
emotional Nick's coming out now.
No, it's just I understand it because you don't want to pay that $22 million next season for a guy who's not worth $22 million. And who knows? We don't know what's going on in the background. Cora might have said, hey, Hanley, we're not going to be playing you nearly as much once Dustin Pedroia gets back because we need that roster flexibility. We need to DFA somebody. Hanley could have been like, well, fuck that, and then thrown a hissy fit about it. I mean, that's a very real possibility.
Wouldn't we know about that by now, though? The way the Red Sox media is, we would know about something like that.
I don't think so. I think they would have been able to keep that under wraps. Because
if they keep that under wraps, why couldn't they keep the Dennis Eckersley thing under wraps?
Oh, well, because there were no media members there. I don't know. That slipped out. Whatever. It happened.
Yeah, okay.
That's a big blow up. Hanley might have Hanley could have just been like, listen, I don't want to do that. It could have been a mutual thing.
We would know about that too. We would know.
I don't think
we would know if there was a conversation. We know that it was Cora's decision. Cora went to Dombrowski. Dombrowski made the final call. There was no conversation there. They told they told Hanley when they got home from their road trip at like 3 a.m.
Which I believe that too.
I believe that. Yeah. Because they blindsided him. He had no idea this was coming.
It just makes sense. You brought up trading Blake Swihart. You can't trade Blake Swihart right now. The guy's been ass. You're not going to get anything for him.
You're not going to get anything for him anyway.
You're
not playing him enough.
He's starting to play more now that he has the opportunity. He played today
at a position that another team would want him for. Every other team wants him to catch,
and he can catch. I think he will be valuable if he gets his average up. I think people know that he's okay. He's not great at defense, but he's okay at defense. I like Blake Swihart. I would like to see the guy succeed. I was very excited to see this guy succeed, and we know he can hit too. It's just the Hanley thing. It just makes sense to me. I just get it. I mean, I guess it's just people with big brains. I think we just understand.
Big brains, small somewhere else. That's fine.
Big brain, small penis. I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
All right, and then last topic, Celtics, Game 7, NBA Finals.
We should talk about this.
Cavs, Warriors. All right, so Celtics Game 7. I mean, it was just a dumpster fire. It was just garbage. I mean, it was like, what else can you really say about it?
Are you over it?
Yeah, I get over things kind of quickly. Yeah,
you clearly do. Don't tell Amanda that.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, yeah, I get over things pretty quickly. That was another thing too. Like that loss hurt me more than the Super Bowl loss did.
Yeah, because the Patriots win a lot.
Like the Patriots, exactly, and I won a lot of money that night.
Yeah, so good for you.
So
I'm over it, and I got over it pretty quickly. But I just hate people who are saying, "Oh, LeBron did it again," or like Mark Jackson, ESPN. "Oh, LeBron did it again." No, the Celtics missed how many threes? The Houston Rockets missed how many threes in their West Final Game 7? Like, Golden State didn't win their game. Cavs didn't win their game. They were both handed trips to the finals by the teams who could not hit their shots.
Yeah,
Celtics were up by like
Rockets-
10, 12 points in the first quarter and let the lead slip. If they just hold that lead, they're winning by 10, 15 going into the half. And at that point, they're winning the game. There's no
the
way because
Rockets missed
LeBron quits.
The Rockets missed 27 3-pointers in a row.
Consecutively. It wasn't even like it was just throughout the game.
Yeah, no, 27 3-pointers in a row.
It's obscene.
Asinine. And then the Celtics too. I mean, their 3-pointing was atrocious. And
The
it
worst
was
part about Houston's was worse though because you have like James Harden missing threes and you have Eric Gordon missing threes.
Yeah.
And you have Trevor Ariza missing threes.
You have Kyrie with the Celtics, you win that game.
You win the series in 5 if you have Kyrie playing. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? You win on the road.
Dude, that would have been so good. Like, we needed that. We needed Kyrie to smoke LeBron in the series. That would have been incredible.
See, that's part of why only reason why I want LeBron to stay in the East is because I want Kyrie LeBron. Like, I want that.
I want Kyrie LeBron in the finals.
Yeah, and then Kyrie hits a game winner over LeBron.
I want a
Celtics
Celtics Houston Rock. I'm making my prediction right now. LeBron's going to Houston. I want the Celtics versus the Rockets in the finals next year.
Is anybody but Boston have a chance to go to the finals next year in the East? Like with a fully stocked, healthy Celtics team?
If LeBron leaves, no.
Exactly what I'm saying. So like it has to be the Celtics because Philly's not going. You beat Philly in 5 without your 2 guys. The Pacers, whatever. The Pistons, whatever. The Bucks, no. Like there's nobody. There's
Are
nobody
the
in the
Timberwolves in the East?
West.
They're in the West.
Then you put LeBron on Houston. Then you have Houston, Golden State, San Antonio still because Kawhi's going back there. You have New Orleans still because Anthony Davis isn't going to leave. You have OKC still because those 3 are going to stay together. Like the West is stacked.
Dude, geographically, hey, I'm just a fucking idiot. I don't know where anything is.
Well, Minnesota's Central Time Zone, but they just play in the Western Conference.
You see, I would not have even known that. I have no idea where anything is in the United States of America.
I believe that.
Honestly, the world too. Like I know Tom Brady's in Monaco right now. Where the fuck is Monaco?
Throwing touchdowns in Monaco, baby.
He's zipping out there, zipping passes. We're to blog today on CouchGuySports.com. Zipping passes to an F1 racer.
Running his own OTAs out there. Let's go.
Come throw to Julian Edelman.
I'm okay with it.
Julian Edelman.
He can do whatever he wants.
That's
Enjoy
not
your life.
True. No,
he can do whatever he wants.
You have Cordero Patterson, who you need to get acclimated to the system. Who else did they pick up?
Camp starts in a few weeks.
They pick up Jordan Matthews.
Jordan Matthews, yep. That's another one.
This offseason is just
Malcolm Mitchell is coming back.
Yeah,
ready to go.
Injury, come on. Like, Brady, get your ass.
Gronk's going to get a new deal. He's back, ready to go.
Yeah, hopefully we can talk about that next week. Hopefully there will be news on that next week.
They said they're working on it, and then we haven't heard a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, no, whatever. Fuck it.
Go Celtics.
All right. You got anything else for the night?
When's the Celtics season start? End of October? Can we go back? Can we fast forward?
October, you dummy. It's May.
Can we fast forward?
Yeah, I apologize to everybody watching the live stream, just watching me sweat. That was, dude, the beginning, like, now that the sun's down is better. I told you at the beginning of that interview I was not going to make it. I feel like I almost passed out.
You look like you've been drinking whiskey and pickle juice.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? How come we didn't talk about that more? Kayce just drinks pickle juice?
It's not the weirdest thing I've heard. A lot of my friends who like pickles will drink the pickle juice, so I'm not.
And I wanna go to that.
You know what a lot of people do? You know what a lot of people do? Actually, I play volleyball. If you guys listeners didn't know that, people drink pickle juice during the day, like to play while playing volleyball. It's like good for your body, I guess. I don't know. I hate pickles, so I would never do it. But
that's weird. All right, Couch Guy Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode 61. That's in the books. We're done. Once again, shout out Kayce Smith of Barstool Sports. Going on to record a podcast, I think, right now. Hi Haters at Barstool Sports. Drops Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Sirius XM Channel 85. 10 to midnight. Her and Uncle Chaps hitting the Hi Haters.
Mac and cheese hater.
Show. Mac and cheese hater. Absolutely fucking asinine take. All right. Episode 61. We done. We out. Thanks for listening. Rate, subscribe. I gotta hit the line now. Rate and subscribe. Help us out and go buy merch. Go buy merch from the Couch Guy Sports Store. Follow us. Okay, the survey too that Pat just said. And then follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, SoundCloud, everything at Couch Guy Sports. Pretty simple. Oh, and Instagram too. The Instagram is straight fire. I'm not saying it just because I run it, but I mean it's straight fire.
Shooting that horn, Nick Quags.
Couch Guy Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode 61. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.